Hi friends, welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm Alexandra, I'm founder of Life with Herpes. And let's do it. Let's see, this is annoying. Should we do that? That's better. I don't know what's going on. All right. Anyways, I'm Alexandra, I'm founder of Life with Herpes. I'm excited to be going live with you. I'm excited to be spending my time with you and you spending your time with me. I'm going to tap the screen just to say thank you for the people that are on and thank you for joining. If you are just joining, feel free to tap the screen with me. It's just a really fun way, obviously, to see hearts is really cool, but a fun way to say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. So what are we going to talk about? What are we doing? What are we doing? I was diagnosed with HSV1 in 2003 and HSV2 in 2011. I had to think for a second because I had a lot on my mind. Anyways, so I've been living with herpes for a long time. I've been living with herpes for over 2 decades, which makes me sound like I'm really old. You can have a lollipop right there. You can see on my desk. Anyways, makes me feel like I'm pretty old. But I have been living with this for a long time. I have dated with this. I have been rejected with this. I have done all sorts of things. I'm married. I have a little boy. I was pregnant. I delivered vaginally. All sorts of things. So we can absolutely talk about this. This is your opportunity to ask your questions. Go on ahead and ask them in the live chat. I do my best to answer them in the order in which they are received. I do get hundreds of questions when I do go live. So I do my best to get to all of them, but I don't always get to all of them. Someone just asked, how frequently do I get outbreaks? It depends. So for HSV1 oral, I have had 4 outbreaks in 20 years. So that's not a lot of outbreaks at all, right? That's very, very little outbreaks that I've had in 20 years. My second oral outbreak was 14 years later. So it's something that just didn't really impact my life whatsoever and didn't deal with it. I actually got my second outbreak right before my wedding. Yay. How exciting was that? As far as genital outbreaks, that is something I do get much more common, and that's something that I have definitely struggled with. When I was first diagnosed with HSV2 in 2011, these are supplements meant to help supplement your diet. Lysine is something that we consume naturally, and we consume in the foods we eat. Monolaurin is in some foods. It's used as a natural or an organic type of preservative in a lot of foods. It comes from coconuts and it comes from human breast milk. But it is something we consume. Also, as I'm putting on my lip balm that I cannot live without, this is something that this is amazing. So the Secret Society Wellness is a company that I created back in 2019. I launched Life with Herpes in 17 and started this in 19. And these are natural products to use on your outbreak. So if you are someone that's living with oral herpes, you have cold sores, this is specifically formulated for that. It also has SPF. It's naturally SPF. I use this daily. I can't live without it. My lips crave it. But it has lots of natural ingredients and it does have lysine in it specifically. So if you do have an outbreak and you want to put this on, it is extremely helpful for those of you that have oral herpes. So I just wanted to do a shout out for that. It's all linked for you in the bio, everything I talked about. If you have herpes, welcome to the community. If you don't have herpes and know somebody that does, please forward and share this information with them. It will absolutely support that person. I've been speaking publicly about my diagnosis since 2017. So I've been open about this so that you don't have to be like me when I was diagnosed in 11, feeling absolutely ostracized and alone in my late 20s. You know what I mean? It was awful. So has anyone ever had skin reactions? Skin reactions to valcyclovir? That I'm not sure about. I know there are side effects to any drug that you would take. One of them I know for the antiviral is hair loss. I've had people complain about that. I've also had people complain to me that they don't lose enough hair. And I'm like, who wants to lose hair? Nobody wants to lose hair. But there are people out there that have enough hair for 7 people and they want to lose hair. But anyways, I haven't heard of that. Can someone with HSV2 give kisses? You can do whatever you want with herpes. You can give kisses, you can be intimate, you can do all that. As far as HSV2, it depends on where it's located. If it's located orally, there may be a chance that you would transmit it orally. If it's located genitally, then there'd be no chance that it would be transmitted orally. So it doesn't matter if you have HSV1 or you have HSV2. Let's get over the actual type. Let's just go to the location. So if you have oral herpes, you can only transmit it orally. If you have genital herpes, you could only transmit it genitally. So technically, someone with an oral outbreak could have be intimate down there and not transmit it. Vice versa, someone with a genital outbreak could do things with their mouth and not transmit it. Does that make sense? There's no like good herpes, bad herpes. HSV1 is good, HSV2 is bad. It's not that at all. There's not good or bad. Oral herpes can be transmitted by doing things with your mouth. It can be transmitted sexually, and it's something that we need to be aware of. There's a lot of us out there that have contracted an STD or STI because our partner had oral herpes, right? So it's not good, bad, ugly, whatever. It is what it is. Do you feel like they are triggered by stress? 1000% herpes is triggered by stress. Cannot stress that enough. Herpes is triggered by stress. The HSV virus loves when you are under stress. It loves when your adrenaline is pumping. It loves when your adrenals are low. It loves when you're focused or stressed out about something else and worried and a worry wart and things like that. It loves it. It thrives off of it. So there's some things you can do. I just posted on Instagram talking about gratitude. Gratitude is something that we need to do more of. And you might be listening and you're like, Alexandra, okay, I have an outbreak and you want me to be like spending 5 minutes doing gratitude? Yes, I do. Working with your mind is most of it. Okay, so the times in my life that I have more outbreaks are when I'm not mindful, when I'm not doing my meditations, when I'm not doing my daily prayers, when I'm not grounding, when I'm not doing gratitude, and when I'm just all over the place and I just don't have time to catch up. Some things that we can do, and you can just do, I'm trying to put my hands over my heart, but I have the mic. Just set the timer for a minute and sit there and say, like, pick one thing, just one thing. I am so grateful for my eyesight. I'm so grateful for my eyesight. Like, thank you for my eyesight, and see and feel what that feels like to have eyesight, and just be so grateful that you have this. When you do that, your mind leaves anxiety and goes into gratitude. It is not physiologically possible to be anxious and living in gratitude. So if you're dealing with anxiety and you're like, oh my gosh, I have an outbreak and I have an outbreak. Is this an outbreak? It could be an outbreak. I think it's an outbreak. Oh no, it's a Friday night. I was supposed to go out. I was supposed to go on vacation. I was going to go on a date with this person. Oh my gosh, I have an outbreak, or whatever it is that is going through your mind. Again, I know it seems counterproductive, but live in gratitude. Spend time living in gratitude and living with this. If you're someone of faith-based like I am, spend time thanking God and doing your prayers, okay? So this is going to be really, really helpful. Do suppressants work? Yes, they work really, really well. The prescribed antiviral, it does a great job. It helps keep the virus dormant, and it's really good at what it does. It's not something you have to take daily. You can take daily if you want. So don't want people to feel like, oh, I've been diagnosed with this, now I have to take this the rest of my life. No, you don't have to. It's something you can choose to take if you want to. When you were ready to give birth, did you take the antivirals or did you only take supplements? So when I was pregnant, I did not take supplements. Well, I took like my prenatal and things like that. But as far as lysine, as far as monolaurin, as far as angiographisc, no, I did not take any of those while I was pregnant. I only took, I think, my prenatal and fish oil and things like that. I took the antiviral the last month of my pregnancy, about the last month, because I didn't know when I was going to have a baby. I didn't know when Clinton was going to come. And so I took the antiviral the last month. Now, it is recommended by doctors to take the antiviral during a pregnancy. So it's something you can take while you are pregnant if you wish. I just chose not to take it while pregnant because my whole thought process was, you can't have a turkey sandwich. Why would I want to take an antiviral, right? Why would I want to take something, and why would I put something else into my body, all right? So those are just my personal thoughts, but you do you and you do what's right for you. What if you're diagnosed but with no outbreaks ever? Then that is amazing. There's a lot of people that are jealous of you and would absolutely love to be in your situation. With that being said, most people with herpes are asymptomatic. Most people with herpes do not get outbreaks. That is why people don't know they have herpes, because they're never diagnosed, because they're not going to get tested for it, because they don't think they have it. And so why would you go voluntarily ask for a herpes test? Because who wants to know they have herpes? And so then people don't know they have herpes, and then they accidentally transmit it to their friends, or not their friends, but their lovers. Okay, so as far as being asymptomatic, awesome. You can still transmit it, so it's something you still need to disclose. You still need to tell people that you have herpes, and just let your partner know and see what he or she is happy with. Is it okay for this person? And what does he or she want to do going forward? But just having that disclosure is something that you still need to have. How many mgs with lysine, how many milligrams of lysine? So it is recommended right here on the, where is this? Where did it go? Did I drop it? Oh, I dropped it. Here it's recommended 600 milligrams. I've heard doctors recommend up to 1,000 milligrams. So it's going to be up to you what you want to take, and of course ask your doctor. I've taken more before, like when I have an outbreak, I take 3,000 milligrams, but again, that's what I do. I'm not saying that's what you should do. Definitely, if you have questions, ask, but that's what is recommended on the bottle. I love you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Has anyone had, I already answered that question. Guys, thank you for the follows. Thank you for the shares. Thank you for the hearts. Thank you for spending your morning. Well, for me, it's morning. It could be afternoon for you. Thank you for spending this with you, or my time with you. I just appreciate you. I see someone that said you have a question. Go on ahead and ask it in the chat. I will get to them when I can. And again, I've been living with herpes for over 2 decades. I don't like saying that, but for over 2 decades. So please let me know how I can support you. Please let me know how I can be here for you. I opened up publicly about my life with herpes in 2017. So I've been talking about this publicly since 2017 and sharing it. The reason why is because I don't want you to be alone. I don't want you to feel like you can never date. I don't want you to feel like you have to settle for who you date. I don't want you to feel like you have to date people with herpes. I don't want you to feel like you can't get married. I don't want you to feel like you can't have a normal intimacy portion of your relationship. I don't want you to feel like you can't become a parent. I don't want you to think you can't go after a certain job. I don't want you to think you can't go to school. I don't want you to think any of these things. When we are diagnosed, the stigma is what tells us, what holds us back. It loves to hold us back. It loves to keep us comfortable. It loves to keep us in a state of worry and shock and oh no. And that's absolutely something that doesn't need to happen. I say that I was there for 2 years. I was Eeyore for 2 years. I had a rain cloud over me for 2 years. I stayed in the relationship that I was in. I didn't feel like I was worthy of anybody. I didn't feel worthy of myself. I didn't feel like I was deserving. And I woke up one day and was like, enough. This is not okay. It's not okay. And so that's why I'm here publicly speaking about this. So thank you for the follows. Thank you for the shares. If you're new to herpes, if you are new here, I do have a 21-page ebook that does walk you through what it is like to live with herpes, and it's natural outbreak remedies. So I have things in there that talk about a high lysine diet. It's free. It talks about the foods that are high lysine. It talks about foods to consume or to avoid when you have outbreaks. It also talks about natural remedies. Some of the things we talk about in there are Epsom salt baths. They're really, really, really helpful when you have outbreaks or even if you're feeling stressed out, because what it does is it calms your nervous system. I created the recovery soak through my company, Secret Society Wellness. We took over a year to formulate it. This obviously works great, but if you don't want to purchase it, I totally get it. And you can go to your local drugstore and do Epsom salt baths. But anyways, in this ebook, there's a ton of information in there for you to read and see what works for you. Am I dating? I am not dating because I am married. So I just celebrated my 6-year anniversary. Can you... But I did date. I did date a while back, and I did not let herpes get in the way. So many questions. Okay. Oh, can I show the lip balm again? It is linked for you in the bio. It is the Lifesaver lip balm. It is a lifesaver, especially as we're going into like the harsh weather conditions. Even though it may be chilly and it may be windy, but it can still be sunny and it can trigger outbreaks for people that have oral herpes. With that being said, the counterpart for genital is the Rescue Balm. This sells out all the time. This is your guys' favorite. And the Rescue Balm is very similar to this, but it is more specific to down there. It does have peppermint eucalyptus in it, and it does have some things in there that help with the pain. It helps just like calm you down. You guys love this. I love the way it smells. I wish you guys could smell it, but you can also use this in other things. Like if you have, I have a friend and he had a rash under his Apple Watch and he just put it on overnight and it was gone. With that being said, are you ready for this? With that being said, I can't believe I'm going to announce it now because I really wasn't. I am dropping a new product. I'm excited. We've been talking about it for another year, and I decided to drop it this year. I did hand it out at the last retreat that we had. It was an in-person retreat here in Las Vegas in September, and all the attendees walked away with the brand new product. I've been using the product on other things, not just herpes related. I have used it on herpes outbreaks, and like poof, it is life-changing. I've used it on, I use it on my crow's feet. I've used it on acne. I've used it on, I got a blister on my foot from walking all over London. I walked 10 miles through London 3 days in a row, so 30 miles, and I had a really gnarly blister on my foot. And it literally cleared it up overnight. So I'm so excited for the new product to drop. What you want to do, because I'm going to be offering a discount, and the people that are on the email list, will get a larger discount. I will, of course, talk about it on social media, but the discount's not going to be as high or as heavy. So what you want to do is join the email list, and you will receive information when you sign up. So I'm excited for you to get all that. With that being said, I do send out emails weekly. I send out 2 emails weekly. You get one that is a heartfelt letter from me talking about hard or heavy topics that we've discussed either on lives or in the support group. We do have a support group of people all over the world, and we meet 8 times a month, and we definitely talk about these topics. So I usually write a blog post with one of the heavy topics. We get that, and then we also have the pillow talk every Friday. All right, so thank you for the hearts, thank you for the follows, thank you for the shares. All right, what if diagnosed and no outbreaks? I think I already answered that for you. Can herpes cause itching all over the body? I wouldn't say all over the body. It can cause itching in that area, but all over the body, there might be something else going on. It does live in our nerves, so it does travel along our nerves. Like you might feel in one area so I get it on my tailbone, and when I'm stressed, I can like feel it go down my tailbone, but I wouldn't say it's all over my body. Someone just said they're diagnosed with HSV2 through blood work, never had an outbreak. That is extremely common for many people to never have outbreaks and not even know they have it. You're Nigel? I don't know what you're saying. Anyways, thank you. You've never seen a white woman publicly open about herpes. This is actually amazing to me. You're welcome. I've been openly talking about this since 2017, so I've been talking about it for quite a while. So thank you for joining me, and thank you for being here. Tips on disclosing to a new partner. Okay, Alexis, so what I would suggest is you decide what you want in that partnership. Is it somebody that is casual, or is it somebody that you want long-term? If it's casual, just get right to it and have the conversation and just share like, hey, I get tested regularly. These are my test results. I'm negative for this. I'm positive for this. We're going to use a condom or this, whatever you're going to do. And what are you? Are you getting tested? Are you not getting tested? Whatever. So that's that. Then, If it's something you want more long-term, then I'd wait until you're ready to be intimate. I know you probably want to do it date one, but let's wait until the relationship is there. Let's see where it goes. Let's see what's happening. Let's see where you're at. Is this really somebody that you want to spend time with? Then use it as an opportunity to discuss your relationship, discuss what it is that you want, where you're at, what are you doing, what are you not doing, talk about STIs, talk about getting tested, and explain to you why this is so important, because it's important that we talk about getting tested, because I never had these conversations in the past. And there's a lot of STIs that can lay dormant, and that's what happened. You know, I had a past partner that didn't know he had it, or knew he had it and didn't tell me or whatever, and I ended up getting HSV. I have it genitally. What questions do you have? You know, and so I would just make it very confident like that, very level playing field. We're talking about our relationship. What do we want to do? How do we want to proceed? Not a very like, oh, will you please accept me? I have sinned. Will you please accept me because I have herpes, and what do I have to do to earn your trust? It's a conditional situation, and please, will you accept me even though? Absolutely not. Makes sense where most of my outbreaks happened when I was under lots of stress. Absolutely. All right, Yen, I haven't seen your question, giving long ass answers, and I don't got all day to wait for her to answer my comment. Okay, you know what? I'm going through, if you were on in the beginning, you know that I go through the answers questions by questions. I come in the order they're received. This is the first question I've received from you, so feel free to ask it again, or you could maybe wait, maybe I'll answer it unknowingly. How painful is the first outbreak? It can be different for everybody. Some people are like, it's just a paper cut. Some people are like, it could be 3 weeks of full blisters. Everyone's going to be different. Mine were extremely painful. There's no way you wouldn't know that you have it. And so that's everyone is going to be extremely different. All right, I'm seeing lots of people rolling their eyes that I'm giving long answers. Is that something that you don't want? You just want like short to the point? I'm more than happy to do that, but I also feel it's really important to give just to give a detailed answer. So let me know in the comments what is going on. Like I said, I answer the questions in the order that they come, and I have hundreds of questions that come through, guys. You take medication regularly and haven't had an outbreak in over 8 years. You've had it for 11 years. So the medication works really well. The antiviral works really well. If that's something you want to take, great. If you don't want to take it, also great. You can do some natural supplements like I talked about earlier, and I have it all linked for you in the bio. All right, Yen, if you guys don't like my story time, you don't have to be here. Please, for everybody else on here, if you want me to speed up my answers, please let me know in the comments. If not, I'm going to keep going the way that I am going. So please let me know. You still haven't told the person who possibly gave me herpes. So that's going to be up to you if you want to go back and tell the person. I went back and talked, I was dating the guy that I got herpes from, but I also went back to past partners and let them know. I felt it was important to let them know because it was more of a public service announcement. For you, it might be a dangerous situation to go back, so you may not want to go back. It's completely up to you if you want to go back and disclose. Can we have intercourse without transmitting it to our partner? Absolutely. It's possible. My husband doesn't have herpes, so it is possible. It's a matter of communicating with your partner. How often do you get outbreaks? What's your immune system like? What's your partner's immune system like? Are you going to use condoms? Are you going to take the antiviral? Are you not going to take the antiviral? Are you going to take other supplements like lysine that helps? There's a lot of other things that can go. Yes, blood work is way more accurate, and that's what some people don't know until they have. Yeah, a lot of people don't know they have outbreaks don't know they have herpes until they either get an outbreak, which could be decades later. I've talked to people that have been in marriages or monogamous for decades, and they suddenly get it, and they don't know why. Is there such thing as a false positive? Yes, of course. Nothing is perfect. Cool Cat, definitely ask your question. I've seen you you have a question. Definitely put your question in the comments. Is there such thing as a false positive? Yes, you can absolutely have a false positive. I would go back and get tested again and see what it is. You got rid of your outbreaks with cold pressed coconut oil applied to your area, gone in 4 days. That is awesome. Thank you for that tip. I'm always looking for new tips. I'm seeing that they're saying that a lot of your questions were filtered. So if I haven't answered your question, it may be filtered. Is there something to stop replication? So not really. The lysine, it's essential amino acid, it's a protein that helps with the replication. It doesn't stop replication, but this is a natural supplement that can help it, but it doesn't stop it. Is there a way to have type 1 spread to, but only come up positive for type 1? So if you have type 1, it can only be type 1. It can't change to type 2. It's like saying like, I can't change and become a dog. Like I'm a human. I can't become a dog, right? I'm always going to be human. So the viral DNA for type 1 is the viral DNA for type 1, and viral DNA for type 2 is viral DNA for type 2. The DNA doesn't change or transmute. So you can give it to someone when you don't have outbreaks. It's called viral shedding, and this is kind of an area that is kind of gray, and people are always like, well, if you don't have outbreaks, why do I have to disclose? Or if I can't transmit it if I have, anyways, yes, you can unfortunately transmit it if you don't have outbreaks. It's called viral shedding, and that's how most of us end up with it. Because obviously if we have an outbreak, we're not gonna be intimate. It's painful. So you can still transmit it without outbreaks when the virus is shedding. Guys, I have time for 2 more questions. I'm going to see what I can do. Is itching a symptom? It is. Itching is a symptom of like prodrome, or it could be potentially an outbreak. Can you get type 1 genitally if you already have type 2 already? You can. You can end up with both types. Saw me on Tinder. I am not on Tinder. I've never been on Tinder. You don't know when you shed. That's the thing. Shedding is asymptomatic. We don't know when we shed. So that's why a lot of people end up with herpes, is because we don't have the symptoms. We don't know. There's no symptoms. There's no signs. We don't know when it's happening. You wish there wasn't such a stigma. I know. Same with me. That's why I'm talking about this, and I've been talking about it since 2017. You have bumps but don't know if it's herpes. If you have bumps and you're not sure, I would definitely go get that bump swabbed. A lot of times a bump can be herpes, or it can look like an ingrown hair, or it can be like, I don't know, jock itch, or all sorts of other things. So if you are concerned and think it could be herpes, go get it checked out. What's the best career field? Whatever you want, whatever career field you want. There's nothing that needs to hold you back from being diagnosed with herpes. Can you only get herpes if the other person has an outbreak? No, you can still get it if your partner does not have an outbreak. How long do I kiss my husband after an outbreak? The CDC and everything is going to say wait a week. I wait until there is no outbreak and it's no longer tender before we become intimate again. Where am I reading the questions? I'm reading them through the chat as they come in. Guide. Okay, you're saying the detailed answers are great. Okay, thank you. You like the detailed, so it's just 2 people that don't like the detailed. What is the best job for a person with HSV-1? Any job you want. The majority of the population has HSV-1. 2 out of 3 people have HSV-1, and so you can have any job you want. You don't need to hold yourself back because you have herpes at all. I look like Courtney K. I'll take it. Thank you. If your glands are swollen, does that mean you're shedding? It could mean you're fighting something, but you don't really know. The detail is educational. All right. Thank you guys. I appreciate you. I heart you. I have an appointment I have to run to in a minute. I'm noticing I have a bat in the cave. All right. I just saw that on the camera. All right. Hearts, hearts, hearts to you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate you. I hope you all have a great rest of the day. Remember some things I talked about. Practice your gratitude, okay? Even if you're like pissed off and angry, you cannot be anxious if you're living in gratitude. That's the tip of the day. Bye, guys.